You started off your work from the Juvenile Centre, and then now we're sitting here in Namata in Nadroga, where you have a campsite. If you can explain your dream becoming a reality in relation to now picking up boys who need this assistance, and you're calling them at-risk boys, and then bringing them out to camps like this. What is the whole objective of it?
Sure. The thing that I realized when I look back at my life is that one of the most important aspects of me becoming who I am today is the learning environment that I was in, specifically at home, the environment that I was in, that I was being nurtured in, that sort of planted seeds that shaped the mindset that I have today. Because of that environment, I found myself being able to make better choices than other men and other boys around me. And I say this because there were other boys that I grew up, my friends. Some are in prison, some are homeless in America. Some are in mental asylums, and some have lost their lives due to gang violence and drug war and all of that. So I made some better choices because of the environment that I was in. So basically, the goal is to learn what the best environment is and create that environment for boys. Environments that will help to nurture them. And so one of the important environments, especially when you're dealing with boys who say are involved in drugs and addicted to drugs, is you need an environment where they can detox, where they can come away from the influence, totally isolated, so that they can begin the journey of recovery. And for us, this is the ideal environment. It's not just ideal in that it's isolated, but it's ideal as well in it's nature-based. It's nature-based. And as you know, Fijian boys, we love nature. We're not classroom. Our favorite subject is lunch, because we go outside and play rugby. That's Fijian boys. And so this place is sort of ideal. It's the best environment for that purpose. But we also don't just focus on the outdoor natural environment, even the learning environment within the classroom and within the home itself. We've tried to replicate a loving home family environment around these boys and the young men that we work with as best as we possibly can. Because it is, again, that home, that loving, that nurturing environment that boys find their sense of belonging, that develop trust. And then they can then begin to be corrected to change. I was just sharing with one of our facilitators. It's hard to teach someone when they don't trust you. So we're trying to teach a lot of these boys. We're trying to tell them, hey, get off this, don't do this. But that's practically impossible if there is no sense of trust or belonging. So we try to create an environment where the boys can come into a place, develop a sense of belonging, genuine trust, genuine recognition, where they're heard, they're seen, that we say we understand them, and they can sense that from us genuinely. And from there, we journey with them towards recovery. And in this environment as well, we try to make it as tailored as possible. We realize that every boy, we can't just treat every boy the same. We all have different stories, different backgrounds. And so the need is different. So we try to provide individualized solutions and approaches to the boys' needs, whether it be health needs, whether it be emotional needs, sometimes it's physical needs that we try to help and support them in towards the journey towards rehab. So that's sort of what we're trying to do in this whole facility. And then the idea is that, we can have facilities that can cater for as many young people that do need this. And the reality is this is probably not the place where everybody can come and stay yet, because you can't send everybody to go and stay permanently in a facility like this. But one of the things we would like to see is this is a place where people can recover, they can find themselves, they can be equipped before we send them on their journey to the next phase. And by the time they leave our program, the hope is that they've been equipped and they can then make decisions on their own and then utilize whatever resources they have, whether they're going back to their home, whether they're going to their village, they have land, and they now have tools that they can take back with them to now create their own home environment for themselves and ultimately for their families.
Before we go on to the break, you have a very interesting name for it, Tagane Mai. Why did you come up with that name?
Well, first because I'm a Tagane, but really it's Tagane Mai is about calling Fijian men and ultimately Pacific men to rise into their full potential. And not just full potential, to become men that will be able to serve a role that's beneficial and healthy and positive towards society as a whole. Being connected to that name as well is the redefining of what it is to be a Tagane. And I know we have different concepts what it is to be Tagane. And many people when they hear Tagane Mai, some might have, you're encouraging toxic masculinity, but that's not what Tagane Mai is about. Because we start off our program with beloved son. That's the first phase. We teach men that you can't be men if you're not sons. And to be a son means that you belong, you honor, you respect, and you love. And the first part of our program is learning about forgiveness. And we do a very powerful thing where we have our boys' fathers come onto the program, and we try to create an environment where they can genuinely reconcile and come into a place of forgiveness. We can drop the macho facade and be vulnerable and be, be open with each other. And so there's a lot of tears that happen here. So, we're not just about raising macho men. We're trying to raise men that are healthy. We believe that our men don't just have to have this, macho Fijian rugby facade. Not everyone's going to be a rugby player. And that it's okay to cry. It's okay to talk about your needs. So Tagane Mai is our attempt to redefine what it is to be a man and become men who are healthy and raising their children. And I think for me, that journey has been highlighted in my own journey as a husband, as a father, and how I am to my wife, and being not only a husband that leads, but is caring and kind and supportive and there and serving and has a servant heart. And all these things that we know when we look around, we need men to be these things. So that's the idea behind Tagane Mai. And journey is a lot of learning involved, but it requires a lot of humility and openness.